no court has the ability to force the president to do something personally as president of the United States. They have authority over his agencies and such, but they can't tell a president, enjoin a president to do or not do something. Completely outside their power as a court. I want to give you an update on the judicial coup, the lawfare out of the judiciary against President Trump, which is just putting lives at risk and undermining our Republican form of government. And I had a tweet the other day, or actually it was just earlier today, just tracking, and this is only part, there's so much going on, I can only put so much in a tweet. Judicial coup update. Court orders real Donald Trump administration to keep funding. So this is what happened in the last, I think it's literally 2 days. A court ordered Trump, the administration, to keep funding grants to the corrupt AmeriCorps program. A judge says the Trump team can't even detain for deportation, can't even arrest the person, a foreign national who promoted terrorism. And an appeals court here in D.C. ordered Trump to personally rehire an official he had fired. Now, that's really outrageous, that last one. No court has the ability to force the president to do something personally as president of the United States. They have authority over his agencies and such, but they can't tell a president, enjoin a president to do or not do something. Completely outside their power as a court. But that's the lawlessness we're facing here, and to me, it's a dangerous form of lawlessness. It's impacting our lives. It's placing our people at risk abroad and here at home as we're dealing with these, being forced to keep and secure these dangerous people that should be deported. It's undermining our national security and our foreign policy. Even messing with our economic policy. On Charles Payne the other day, I talked about some out-of-control court in New York, the International Court of Trade, I think the name is, who basically said the president has no authority to issue any emergency or pursue any tariffs under the emergency powers specifically and broadly granted to him by Congress. I talked about it a little bit with Charles Payne the other day. Let's go to that.
I want to bring in Judicial Watch, their president, Tom Fitton. And Tom, trade uncertainty now is back on the rise, but not from things happening inside the White House. It's from all of this legal intervention. What's going on here?
Yeah, you had a 3-judge panel intervene and try to stop President Trump from pushing through his tariffs. And the markets reacted negatively to that because the court was acting in a way that brought uncertainty to the process. Now, if you're a judge and you don't like Trump's policies, that's your right as an American. But you're supposed to strictly apply the law and not play legislature, not play president, and give the president and the Congress the respect due under the Constitution. And the problem that the courts are having now in terms of their public perception is they're acting like politicians. And when you act like a politician, the public's going to treat you like a politician, and that's why the courts, in my view, their reputation is plummeting among the public. And the Supreme Court really needs to take control of the reins here and rein in these lower courts that are acting like Democratic committeemen in Congress as opposed to neutral jurists.
There are certain judges, I know what their decision is going to be made. When they say it's certain cases, anything involving Trump, I know there's certain judges, once that judge sees it, I already know what the outcome is going to be, and I suppose the White House must know as well. But the public knows, and this is after all of that lawfare. I'm concerned about the idea that, this is the foundation of our nation.
Yeah, it's judicial lawfare in some respects, right? You have these left-wing activist groups, by and large, using friendly courts to hamstring the Trump administration's policy initiatives, which have generally been endorsed by voters through an election.
Right.
No one voted for these judges to be president, but they voted for Trump to be president, and there are powers he's exercising in accordance with his constitutional authorities, and judges don't like it, and rather than sticking to their lane, their usurping power that the Constitution doesn't give them.
So how do you see things settling out? Because this is now one of these instances, everyone's a lawyer all of a sudden. Everyone's a lawyer and everyone's an expert on tariffs all of a sudden. Well, Section 122, well, Section this. I want to know how Tom Fitton sees it maybe playing out.
Well, you know, as not a lawyer, but someone who's been watching the courts for some time, Trump's going to win some and lose some. I think he's going to win more before the Supreme Court in terms of vindicating his core constitutional powers to run the government. It means hiring and firing people, not being second-guessed by independent agencies that are answerable to no one, and saving taxpayers' money, and yes, exercising tariff policy and protecting the border. All core powers to the presidency in terms of national security, protecting our country from invasion, and matters like that.
Right.
And it's going to be a bumpy road, and I hope the court doesn't undermine its legitimacy in the meantime.
Yeah, I mean, that's the challenge, because the court's had some good rulings for Trump, but in the meantime, it's chaos below until the Supreme Court acts. And they've been too lackadaisical, to put it mildly, in allowing these lower courts to mess with President Trump's constitutional powers and the Congress's attendant legislative powers, because the president often is enforcing law passed appropriately by Congress. And they just can't let the lower courts mess with him in that regard improperly, creating emergencies and giving special treatment to litigants simply because they're challenging Trump. It's not appropriate. And they need to step it up. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.